Wow, I need you guys to watch this video of a couple that lied on a young black man, and they said a lot of things about the man. And you know, the most amazing thing is that the man was just shown from afar. We didn't hear what he said. He was not allowed to even speak back, maybe because of the camera. I don't know exactly, but it was always him and his wife speaking. The guy that was accusing has not spoken any word, and I don't know why. But let's go check this video and I'll be right back. The most shocking thing is that, let me not say this. Let's go watch it because I don't want to say and conclude. I want you to watch and pay attention to every word. His body language, just pay attention. You'll be able to see through his speaking, through his touch. You'll be able to see a lot of things that I saw, and I want you to also see it. I don't want to preempt anything. Let's go watch it. Credits are given to all content creator and stitches in this video. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
So there's been some updates with these two, and it gets much, much worse because it becomes blatantly obvious that they're trying to pull some more Emmett Till setup type shit. As I always do, I'm going to run it back to the first video, and I'm going to stick around and point some things out.
So this guy just said he wanted to murder our baby as we were walking past, and now they're going to put him under arrest. He said, I'm going to murder your wife and baby.
Yeah, he literally said that. This guy right there, when we're walking past.
So we're going to press charges.
He said he wanted to kill our white baby. How sick can people be? This is disgusting. I'm completely outraged. You can't even walk down the streets of Washington, D.C. without people acting like this. Thank God we reported it to the police and are dealing with the guy. I cannot believe this right now. Don't bring your kids down here. It's not safe.
Don't bring your kids to D.C.
It's not safe at all.
Last night, while heading home from Joe's Seafood on 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue, 1 block from the White House, a black man approached my wife and my baby and I and said, I'm going to kill your white girl. I'm going to kill your effing white baby. And he repeated it many times, and then he continued to call my wife a white B-word multiple times. And I had half a mind to stomp his head in, but instead I went to the Secret Service, which was a block away from us, and I told them what he had said. The man was subsequently arrested, and he has now been brought on charges by the U.S. Attorney General's office, felony charges for felony threats and hate and bias crime.
And also, we found out later that he had a knife in his pocket, so that was extremely terrifying.
So this is unbelievable. This shouldn't be happening in the capital of the United States of America. Families like ours should feel safe. We have 5 other children at home that were with grandma, luckily, that night. We're not even from here, we're from Iowa. And to have to suffer that after losing our friend Charlie Kirk, who I worked for, and then this, it's unbelievable. And America, you need to do better. Racism, reverse racism, it's all wrong, it's all evil. Turn to Jesus, believe the gospel, repent of your sins, be renewed in your mind, in your thinking. Love one another, love your neighbor as yourself, as Jesus commands. We need to seek God. This is not acceptable.
Get a load of that smile when the video ends. Let's move on.
So my understanding is that you would like us to charge this hate crime from the beginning, and so because you were starting to talk about facts of the case, as I explained earlier, I cannot talk about facts of the case without an officer witness on the line. So let me ask you real quickly. So the facts that I understood were that he threatened to kill you, Sarah, and your quote-unquote white baby. Is that correct?
Yes. He said he's going to kill. He said he was speaking to me. He said, I'm going to kill your girl and your effing white baby.
Okay.
And then he repeatedly called my wife a white B-word. And It was for 100% a hate crime. If I would have said that to a black man, his wife and baby.
Sir, I'm going to stop you right here. I appreciate where you are going with this. I in no way, shape, or form disagree with you that this sounds like a hate crime. But I want to explain to you how our process works.
Okay.
And then they cut the video off because things are not going in the direction that they hoped for. They try to spew their rhetoric, and this woman was not having it. So shout out to her for doing her job. Let's move on. Okay, this is the most recent one, and I want you all to pay very close attention to everything they say down to the caption in this video, because they are so outrageously frustrated that they don't even realize they're telling on themselves.
Bias. Okay.
Yeah.
And then.
So these will be felony threats with a hate bias enhancement. And so what that does is that changes the possibility, the way we, the possibility of sentencing, the kind of plea that's given, plea offer. You know, I don't have any knowledge of a violent history, not at this time, but let me actually, 1 second. I would have to do some digging into his history in order to be able to get.
You might have to do a little research because you got about an hour and a half, and if this guy is a violent offender, hold on, you don't have to give us any information, but if this guy is a violent offender and there is some legal precedent to hold him, then he needs to be held because he could be a danger to the public, and he could go and stab some baby. He could kill some baby. You know, that's not safe to have people like that are that unhinged on the streets in our capital city of the United States of America.
A block from the
A block
president.
from the White House. We were on 1500 Pennsylvania. That's insane.
I do not. I would love to have a conversation with you about it, but I honestly cannot. And like I said, if I have a legal basis to ask for him to be held, I will ask for him to be held. At this time, I don't know of a legal basis for me to ask for him to be held.
Well,
which means the court doesn't have a legal basis to hold him.
well, Barb, do some digging. That's all I'm going to say. Because if he gets out and he does something, I swear this is going to be very bad for everybody. Very bad for everybody. It's not going to be good for the district. It's not going to be good for the U.S. Attorney's Office. It's not going to be good. It's going to be national public television. Everybody's going to know about it. I literally know President Trump personally. It's not a good situation. I shouldn't have to feel like my wife is going to be killed and my baby is going to be killed, and then some violent offender gets released back on the streets of Washington, D.C.
And we don't even know his criminal background.
We don't know. We don't know who we're dealing with here. So we don't feel safe
What
at
if
this
it's
point.
what if it's the same thing like the guy in North Carolina where they let him out 14 times and then he goes and kills somebody? That guy should not have been on the streets, and I don't think this person should be on the streets either.
Listen, you seem like a really nice lady, Barb, and I know there's more that you guys can do. So I'm hoping that you guys will figure out something.
I mean,
because I
even
don't
a
want him
mental
released.
asylum, like, is there a mental hospital he can go to or something?
Or
That's
a
not...
homeless shelter or something. Something to keep him away from people.
I hear you.
Any questions?
For the past week, I have been talking about the MAGA couple who got an innocent black man arrested in Washington, D.C. And I want to be very clear that I am no hero in this story. I am a human that understands the power in community and that understands that we cannot wait for anybody to give us justice. We have to take it because I know my history and I know what happened to Emmett Till and I know what happened to the Scottsboro boy and I know what happened to Khalif Browder. And I refuse to sit idly by while folks discard another black person in this country. A couple of days ago, I did receive an email from Joel Tenney himself. Do I look scared? Okay. But what I do recognize is that in the process of wanting to get my community member free, and when I say free, I mean free from this injustice system and his charges dropped, I also have to recognize and rectify that in the information that has been shared with me and information that I have uncovered, that could have triggered many people. And I do not take that lightly. And I apologize openly to anyone who heard about any former charges that could have triggered you or brought up any amount of trauma. I want to make it clear that SA is not a gotcha moment. And me bringing up those charges was not at all to trigger anyone, but for the purpose of showing who the true purveyor of violence is in this situation. So with that, I thank you all for your continued support with this situation and the information, but we gonna get this brother free. People have asked me if I have any updates regarding the MAGA couple that lied on the black man in DC and got him arrested. The last update that I gave you all was that Joel Tenney had privated most of his accounts, and I believe TikTok, he might have deactivated his account. His wife, Sarah Elizabeth Tenney, is still on social media, but has limited her comment. And I believe partially that's as a result of them being called out as being full of shit. And also because I searched public record and found someone by the name of Joel Christian Tenney, similar to the name of the husband, also born August 7th, 1996, also from Iowa, who not only had multiple counts of criminal charges, but was actually convicted of one and given 2 years of probation. Now, with all that information, I publicly asked Joel Tenney to remove his videos about this innocent black man and to also drop the charges. And as of today, Sunday, September 21st, 2025, the charges have not been dropped. And so therefore, I will continue to move forward with my community that is in DC with ensuring that that innocent black man has support. I will not reveal that black man's name, and I hope that everyone else chooses to do the same, because the on the ground work is specifically not for social media. It is literally to help this black man, to help our community, and to protect each other. And the goal with putting all these videos on social media was to show any of those right-wing conservative racists that we do indeed have community and we are willing to protect ourselves, and that we also have the resources necessary to do so.
A white couple lying. And the amazing thing is that they were recording themselves. Maybe they were trying to get a case, like an evidence. I don't know, because as they were lying on themselves, lying on the man, and they were talking to the police, and the wife was recording. And I began to think, was there an intention from the beginning, from day one, that this is what they were going to do? They were going to document all the processes and they're going to put it together so that the lie can look organized and it can look like, oh yes, they document everything for evidence against that black man. And I was shocked, because when they said what the man did, and some of the processes they went through, I mean, a phone conversation happened between them, and they were trying to just bring the narrative that it's a black man, it shouldn't be on the street, it's dangerous, it's blah, blah, blah. You have no power to decide the fate of a man that has not been taken to court. You have no right to do that. And that is the narrative we always talk about. They want to decide the fate of every man on the street, especially a black man, to make him or her go to jail or go to wherever they desire, because they feel they have the power, and they create narratives. And the one was like, no, you don't have to. I won't allow you to do that. Just answer the question I'm asking you, yes or no, and give your side of the view. Don't summarize. Don't be the judge over the situation. And that's exactly what happened. And sometimes it saddens my heart, because they feel that they can decide the fate of a man in front of the jury, in front of the court, in front of the lawyer or whoever, with their lies and narrative. And a lot of people are actually calling them out. A lot of people are saying, man, it is too obvious. People are saying that they are lying, and I'll be sad if this case, go their way. If they want this case, because a man that was sitting down at the corner and you said he wants to unalive you or your wife or your little daughter, except the guy is mad. That is when he can actually do that. But if he's not mad, no man would just sit down at the corner, go marry a couple. Maybe he's insane. That's what I'm thinking. But if he's not insane, how would a grown-up man say that he wants to unalive a baby that is less than a year old or something? Is that possible? And of course, people began to dig deep into this man's account, what he has done in the past, and they began to see that this guy is a blatant liar. And of course, his account was blocked. He had to go and deactivate his account because people were, of course, trust people. They called him and his wife out and they began to bombard them, of course, with tests, with different angles. And what is amazing the most to me is the fact that he could say that, people just love God, you should be born again, you should give their life to Christ. They use religion. And that is what they've been using time immemorial, that they will come as though they are born again Christian. They want to preach to you the gospel of the Lord Jesus, but it is a lie. They come in the name of religion, but the evil behind the agenda they want to do, the evil behind the religion they are portraying, it's unbelievable. Their act is so wicked, desperately wicked. It was just like, you should give your life to Christ. It should stop evil. It should, This guy just spoke about the guy that he should be taken out of the street. It's not this, and suddenly, just to lie, it's a gimmick. That's the game. That's the game to play. Oh, they're very good at that game. But this time around, it didn't escape because, the case is in a court. And I'm happy that the black folks rose up to support this guy because they said they are never going to allow this man decide the fate of this black man. And that is what is happening. Oh my. Guys, let me know what your take is, what your perception is, because this has to stop. When someone just feel like, okay, this guy, I don't like his face, he needs to go to jail, he needs to go, by lying against him. That rhetoric, that idea, that propaganda needs to stop, and it has to stop now. Guys, let me know what your take is. And of course, do it to subscribe to my channel, because this is what I do. I bring stories that people don't want to talk about. I bring it so that you guys can hear it and form an opinion about it, because it is all about speaking against the evil that is happening in our society, speaking against what is not right, what is not just. We are here to speak the truth. Thank you guys for always watching and liking and subscribing to my channel. Thank you. But I await your comment, your response, your perception at the comment section. Until I come your way again. Bye-bye.